أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب إله رب العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعن الدائم على أعدائهم وغاصبي حقوقهم ومنكري فضائلهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال أمير المؤمنين في مناجاة الشعبانية: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فقد هربت إليك ووقفت بين يديك مستكينا لك متضرعا إليك راجعا لما لديك تراني or ثوابي. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective, in which we are focusing upon Munajat Shabaniya, which is the Munajat or the whispered prayers of Amirul Mu'mineen. We will be continuing on this topic till we accomplish the completion of the commentary which I am following of Ayatollah Tahriri till the end. We had done about 5 programs before the month of Ramadan, and we are just going to continue from where we had stopped. We had discussed in our last program, I'll just remind you of, and that is, we were talking about Faqad Harabtu Ilayk. After Amirul Mu'mineen in this munajat, where he clearly speaks about Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, wasma du'ai idha da'utuk, wasma nidai idha nadaytuk, waqbil alayya idha najaytuk, and then faqad harabtu ilayk wa waqaftu bayna yaday. So dua, nudba and najwa, and then doing after all that, eventually Amirul Mu'minin says, I ran towards you and I stand in between your 2 arms, not in the sense that physical arms, but in the sense of the symbolic, that I'm right in front of you standing. We talked about the difference between dua, nudba and najwa earlier, and we spoke in our last program about this running away from all of these, preoccupation of the dunya, that I have ran and I have come to you, that I'm standing in front of you. فَفِرُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ. We talked about the journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَفِرُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ. We did a bit of exegesis about this verse of the Quran, where we said that what they really mean, to do farar towards God. Now, in the continuation of this same verse of dua, which is faqad harabtu ilayk, we have to pay attention to our own self through tafakkur, through contemplation, that we have to use any given reason to be the source of connecting to God. So therefore, if we do tanabbu, which means that if we do tafakkur, it says nabbaha bit tafakkur qalbak. Amirul Mu'mineen says that make your heart awaken with contemplation. So whenever or whatever we face, we have to constantly be contemplating on how we could relate this to God. For example, if I am enjoying something, even if that be a good act or even if that be a wrong act, when I'm enjoying looking at a non-mahram, when I'm enjoying committing a sin, committing an act which is against the will of God, here I'm seeing my ego, here I'm seeing my nafs. Then therefore this lazat, this pleasure that I'm having, is my ego. It is me who is having the pleasure. So I'm not thinking about God at that instant, at that moment. When I'm looking at something that pleases my eyes, then this is my ego which is pleased. Then this is me who is pleased. So therefore my focus, my tawajjuh have been moved from God to my nafs. I'm enjoying it. Now on the same token, many a times we might be doing a good act, we might be praying, we might be doing dua, we might be doing ziyarat. Now when I am doing this ziyarat, when I'm having this pleasure, even in this munajat, sometimes this could be egoistic as well. That, for example, it is me who is doing the ziyarat and I'm having so much pleasure by doing so. I'm having this halat. Now, all of a sudden something happens. Somebody comes and spills the water. Somebody comes while I'm reciting, pushes me so that the page that I'm reading, it just get messed up. Now, when that messes up, my reaction to that thing which happened is very important. If my reaction to that thing is that, oh, what the hell, for example, then obviously, what is this pleasure that I'm having? This pleasure that I'm having is for my ego, although it's a good act. The possibility of the reward of that might be there vis-a-vis or compared to an act which I'm committing a sin, for example. Right? But however, now we have to be careful that this contemplation, this tafakkur, this tawajjuh, this focus, if it is towards the Imam, if it is towards God, then obviously the reaction will be positive as well. In the sense that yes, something happened, but my reaction to this, what happened, is nothing to be sort of, concerned or worried that I react in a negative way towards another brother, towards another moment, or I'm so much attached to it that I get distressed or upset. But rather I should go back to my own nafs. Rather I should contemplate and do tawajjuh that it is my nafs. It is my soul which is naqis, which is incomplete. Right? So now, what I'm trying to say is, فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ, which Amirul Mu'mineen is saying that I ran away from everything. I ran away even from the pleasure of my ego, of my nafs. Not in the sense that I'm committing a sin with these eyes and my eyes are having pleasure by looking at. Yes, that is there as well, that I ran away from this. I'm sick and tired of these bombardments and these attacks of shaitan that is continuously, attacking my soul, attacking my nafs and making me weak. Whether that be on the street that I'm walking, whether that be in my phone, whether that be on the television, whether that be in the magazine, whether that be I'm driving and these thoughts that are coming. I've been bombarded by shaitan and by waswasa of my nafs. Shaitan, in Surah Hashr, as we say that, shaitan says that, inni, I am who believe in God. Shaitan will kick us on the day of judgment and will say that, I didn't do anything. I just asked him to do something and did it. And I am, I'm bari, I'm far away from, because I'm the believer in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is this dude, it is this guy who did not believe in. He shouldn't have been listened to me. He listened to me. I did waswas and he listened to me. And many times it's the nafs-e-insan. Shaitan ke bajaye khudish. Shaitan is in its own place. Many a times it's our own nafs that does that waswasa to really do something. It is not shaitan who is whispering us. It is our own low, sick, ill, perverted nafs-e-insan hast. So, وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ, I ran away from all of this. Now here, a very beautiful riwayat that comes from, first the ayat of the Quran, which says, لِيُبْلِيَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مِنْهُ بَلَاءً حَسَنًا. In Surah Anfal, verse number 17, it says that, لِيُبْلِي means that, through this, mu'mineen, from them, we test them a good testing. So bala, problems, difficulties for mu'mineen is like a test. And it's a test which will reward them, which will give them good in return. Ma asaba min musibatin famin Allah or min Allah. Whatsoever musibat, test, that comes in about, is from Allah. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ, the one who have taqwa, the one who is have the belief in God, يَهْدِي قَلْبَهُ, his heart will be guided. A mu'min, when he faces a problem, when he faces a difficulty, when he faces a bala, he recognizes, because he is in the state of tafakkur. He is in the state of that tawajjuh towards God. As he is in the state of tawajjuh towards God in all affair, in every step of his life, in every second of his life, his focus and his tawajjuh is God. Obviously, we are not on that state. But what I'm trying to point out to you here is that we have to reach to that state, right? Yes, certain, we start the day. We start the day when we open the door and we stepped out with our right foot outside. All these sunnah, this sunnat of Rasulullah are there so that we open our eyes, so that we are in the state of tawajjuh, we are in the state of awakening. All these sunnah and wajibat are for that. So when I start my day, open the door, put the right step outside, look at the sky, I say, Ilahi ba'umidatu. I look at the sky and I say, Ya Allah, with your hope, in your hope I am leaving the house. You are the caretaker. With your tawakkul. Yes, it begins with that. That tawajjuh needs to be there. That tawajjuh needs to be there. I wake up in the morning, I say, Shukranillah, mustahabbat, dua, I recite, say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I give my salams to the Imam Zaman, right? So small things will add up and will become a habit and eventually make you to a state where a person is in tawajjuh, is in a state of focus towards the Lord, is in a state of contemplation all the time. So therefore, whenever a bala comes, his tawajjuh is God. It's not that bala which has happened. Yes, it is very difficult to really come out of that pain and difficulty. The pain and difficulty is there. We are not saying that the pain and difficulty will not be there. It is not possible that the pain and difficulty is not there. To raise the 6-month-old baby in the hand and see, the arrow piercing through the neck of Asghar is pain and difficult. We are not saying that it is not painful and it is very pleasuresome to really see one's own son sacrificed and killed in that fashion. We are not saying that at all. But the point is that the tawajjuh, the focus is not on Asghar. The focus is radan bi qada'ihi wa tasliman li amri. That's the tawajjuh. The contemplation, the state of mind, the state of heart have reached to a point where that this bala, yes, it is bala, it is pain, it is difficulty, but tasliman li amri is there as well. That tawajjuh is there as well, which is bringing me out of this musibat. How that will happen? فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ. If I ran away from all of this dunya, from all of this balaya and pains and difficulties, فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ. I ran away from this and I'm standing in front of you. This is called tarbiyat. Our discussions is purely and purely tarbiyat insan, is training of the soul, is a spiritual training. What we are discussing through this dua, what Ayatollah Tahriri have mentioned in this book, is the points in regards to self-building, how I will make my nafs. We have to continuously every day improve ourselves. A moment day is not similar to the previous day. We have to add on, we have to improve. We are on a journey. We are on a journey towards God. And every step that we take on this journey, we are coming closer to God. That means our awareness, that means our agahi, our knowledge, our understanding, our tahammul, our patience should be expanded. Our heart should expand, should reach to a level where it could see Israel. Our heart should reach to a level where God says, return. We says, labbaik. I am ready to surrender my life if God wants it to. That I do not resist. I just go when Israel comes. Right? And then I say, I've been waiting for you, my beloved, my lover. Welcome. I've been waiting to meet you. This is the moment that I was waiting. فَقَدْ هَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْكَ. This is the time. I am ready to leave this dunya. one should leave this dunya in this fashion. That's why Imam Sadiq says that the moment when he leaves the dunya, it is as if he's smelling the sweet fragrance of the flower. That's how he leaves this dunya. Sayyid Haddad, great mystic, and his book is also been translated and it recently came out, Liberated Soul. Inshallah, next week I'll bring the book and I'll show it to you. ICAS, the Islamic College, have printed this work by an anonymous translator. It is called Liberated Soul, Ruh Mujarrad. The scholar is Haddad, a Karbalai, who was the student of Sayyid Ali Qazi, who was also a teacher of Sayyid Muhammad Hussain Tehrani. Sayyid Haddad, he was a man of spirituality, of perseverance, of unique mystical traits he got. And it's been mentioned that he was admitted in the hospital. Then he says that to the doctor, please give me one day on a Thursday night. I guarantee you I will not return. He goes home, he puts henna on his fingers, his mustahab. He puts mehndi, and then he stretches his feet towards the Qibla, and then he takes that deep breath and he is gone. Waiting, aware of the period when that liqa and mulaqat is going to take place. أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ وَأَجْلٍ مُسَمًّى وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ لَكَافِرُونَ. We talked about this verse in our previous program. This verse is from Surah Rum, verse number 8. أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. Do not they do tafakkur in their nafs? أَوَلَمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَبَيْنَهُمَا. The creation of the heaven and earth and whatsoever exists in between them, إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. It has been created with haqq, which وَأَجْلٍ مُسَمًّى, and that ajl and that time. That time, that ajl is musamma, is for certain. Inna kathiran minan nas, and majority of the nas, majority of the people, biliqa'i rabbihim lakafirun. They are kafir from meeting their Lord. They hide that they're meeting their Lord, they are kafir. So therefore, yatafakkar, tafakkur, thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every instant, whether that be I'm having that food which is of pleasure, whether that be I'm sitting with my children and speaking. Now obviously, there are certain generic things have taken place in order to make ourselves pleasing and enjoy. For example, the advancement of technology, today's world, where you have the gadgets, where you have the Xbox and these type of superficial pleasures that have been created by man in order to make other human beings busy with all of these things and think that they are really having pleasure, and at the end of the day it is not really pleasure but waste of time. I'm not saying that waste of time in the sense that yes, it is something that one should do, but if one is engrossed, one is overwhelmingly involved with even that sort of deeni thing as well, religious thing as well. For example, he is using his telephone or his iPad and he is continuously on that gadget for dua, for forwarding messages about Islam. If he stays with that for an hour, after an hour he will feel sick of himself, although he's dealing with all of these ayat and riwayat and what, because it is superficial. The pleasures that one have from these gadgets, from these sort of technology that is created with the purpose of making oneself engrossed and busy, right? I may be wrong, right? This is something that I have noticed personally, that even if a person is, compared to a book where one is using an iPad for their du'as, for example, there's something different there. Maybe I may be wrong, I'm saying, but I personally believe there's something about it. Anyway, now to get into the margins, now that tafakkur needs to be there. So bala, difficulties, problems are always there for mu'mineen, but the point is that focus upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the heart will be guided towards, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expand the heart of all mu'mineen, all Muslimin, all people who are in turmoils and difficulties. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make these difficulties as a source by which they connect to God, by which their heart is expanded, by which their problems are resolved by connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ وَيَعْفُ عَنْ كَثِيرٍ. In another verse of the Quran, in Surah Shura, verse number 30, it says, مَا أَصَابَكُم, there isn't any musibat that comes to you, مِن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُمْ. This musibat that you are facing is kasabat aydikum. It is by your own hands. It is by your own hands this musibat you have acquired. It is not God. It is by your own hands, by your own turmoils, by your وَيَعْفُ عَنْ كَثِيرٍ. However, God says that He is someone who forgives a lot. So although it is a musibat that has been acquired by our own hands, but Allah is the one who forgives. So we have to seek forgiveness, do astaghfar. If we face any problem, if we face any difficulty, Ayatollah Bahjat, one of the zikr that he used to give to many and majority of them was that do astaghfar. Unfortunately, we say we are faced with a musibat, with a problem. Saye, somebody is doing jadoo, somebody is doing amal against me. That's why I am facing this problem, this economical difficulties, this and that and the other. Who is doing that? Oh, let's bring taweez. Oh, let's call this Baba. Let's call this, this guy or that guy. Let's do something to get rid of this saya. The shadow, some bad omen, some bad person is doing something. Let's go to him. We go there. Now when we go there, he does something with some smoke, something like that. And he says, I'm going to tell you, it is someone very close of yours is doing that. Oh, really? First thing in our mind, the person we have issues with, it is my chacha's son, I know him. Or it is my mamu's son, I know him. It is this lady or that lady. It is my neighbor, someone very close, he has said. Now I have this in my heart. Now when I meet him, I'm like, upset with him. He's done nothing. That person have done nothing. Now, this one should not come to my house because he said it is someone close. I remember he said something like that. Now he was doing like this when he came to my house. He calls me, I want to come. I said, no, I'm busy. I'm not home. You lied. Number one. So with this saye issue, another problem you did to make this saye bigger with your own ma asabakum min musibatin fa bima kasabat aydikum. It is your own actions that is bringing this. Now you have lied. It is your own action. You have lied. Based on what? Based on that zan. Based on that doubt that you have in your heart. Because this Baba have said something. Now you lied. Number two. Now he should not come to my house. You are cutting the raham, sila raham. You are cutting the kin. You are cutting your relationship with your family member based on your doubt. Because that Baba have said something. Now no change. Now more bala becomes more stronger, more problems. One, I lied. Two, I cut relationship. More problems. Then I say, oh, now he has doing much stronger magic. Now let me go to the Baba. So I go to Baba. He said, oh, now I will give you the letters of the name. It is with Kaf. It is with Lam. It is with Mim. It is with Jim. I say, really? Now I start to think. Kaf. Oh, is it Qasim? Oh, is it Jawad? Who is this Jawad? Oh, Jawad, is that? No, it's not that one, it's that other guy. It's other cousin of mine. Now I start cutting relationship with Baba Jan. Ma asabakum min musibatin fabima kasabat aydikum. That's the Quran saying that, not Baba. It is the Quran is saying. The musibat that we have, it is from our own hands. Ayatollah Tahrir always used to say this. When people used to complain they are in trouble, number one, he would say, recite azan in the house loudly, so that the azan goes in the rooms. If you are in problem, do this. Recite azan loudly at the time of azan, so that the azan is circulate in the room, number one. Check your akhlaq with your parents. Make that relationship with your parents nice. Then the problem is resolved. Whenever there is a problem, these are the things that he used to say. Number 3, do astaghfar. Number 4, if it is financial issue and you have done, check. We have to check our own self, not Baba. Go to the scholars, the ulama, those who can do tarbiyat of your nafs, those who are well versed in the Quran, those who are mujtahideen, those who are well versed in the hadith. I'm not criticizing the Babas, they are well respected. They do and they give something which have an effect, because they themselves are doing it on the basis of the zikr and dua and this and that. It is me. The problem is not with the Baba, the problem is with me. They are respected. We respect them. And they give from zikr and all that, and it has its effect. They give you something that is based on the sunnah and upon the Quran. But the problem is my doubts, my ill nafs. It is me who is thinking that. Yes, it could be somebody who have done something. I'm not saying that, maybe then the person who have done something start with a Jim letter, fine. But it is me who is thinking, oh, it is Jawad. Baba never told me it is Jawad. I mean, he has done something, he got some sort of, letters based on the knowledge that he has. He's right. But it is musibat is from myself. So if I go to those who could provide me with a solution, with a prescription to the problem, not that the problem is increased more, not because of the Baba, because of myself. You see, the problem is not the Baba, it is myself. The Baba is also trying to solve my problem, but I don't want to solve my problem. I'm creating more problem. But if somebody goes to a scholar, he says, azan at your house. See your relationship with your parents. Astaghfar. Focus, if it is a lot, namaz Jafar Tayyar. Recite the prayers of Jafar Tayyar. These are the few things that comes from Allama Tabatabai, that comes from Ayatollah Tahriri, Hafazahullah. So now, فَقَدْ حَرَبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْ, I ran away and I stand in front of you, O my Lord. Munajat Shabaniya. Now we face musibat and problem, and this is that we do tafakkur, that we think. Now here, look at this beautiful hadith. It says that praise be to the Lord in order for the purification of our Shia. This Lord places difficulties, so they steadfast in ita'at. In this hadith, Amirul Mu'mineen is saying, praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Biharul Anwar. volume 81, page number 179. The tradition is number 25. Praise be to God that in order that our Shias, in order my lovers, be purified from the sins that they have committed in this dunya, they are faced with problems and issues, so that they become steadfast in their ita'at and ibadat. So when there is a musibat, one should become steadfast. One should much be stronger in terms of their ibadat, in terms of their ita'at, obedience to God. Not that one should become doubtful and cut relationship and lies. That I'm not home, for example. The example, I'm connecting to that, which I just mentioned previously. Yeah? But rather I should do azan, mustahab. But rather I should connect and do khair. I do something positive. I clean the house with the intention of getting rid of the musibat. I am living in a dorm with my fellow brothers, mu'mineen, my friends. The apartment is dirty. I clean that up. I make the bed. I make the house clean for my children, for my wife, or for my husband, so that when they come, they feel, oh, it looks nice. That pleasure, that it looks nice, that your fellow roommate becomes happy. You make a human being happy. The key is that. The problem is resolved that way. Right? So something ita'at should be stronger rather than the bar'aks, rather than the opposite. That, this is this man who is doing that. I should do, a reverse magic. It is him who is doing, somebody say, you got to do a reverse magic on this. Baba, you become, Amirul Mu'mineen is saying that when you face issues and trouble, this is in order that our sins be eliminated and our ita'at, we should become stronger. Imam Baqir alayhi salam says that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to honor a mu'min, when He wants to honor, He would and wants to purify him from the sins, Allah will make him mubtala, will make him engage or busy with some sort of disease, and will make him restless, or will make him in economically difficult situation, will make him faqir and in troubles. And if he doesn't do that at the time of death, he will have a lot of problem. Imam Baqir is saying that. So the problem is to see the problem as sweet. Our problem is that we see the problem as problem. So we got to come out of this. We got to change the whole perspective of looking at the problem. We should look at the problem as something that we are open and ready and for the fight. We have to prepare, when we go in the ring to box to fight. We prepare ourselves. Now here comes the competition. Come on, we got to fight now, right? You punch me, it's painful, but I punch you back. I got to come out of this problem, right? So Imam Baqir is saying that in order to honor, look at this, how Imam Hussein is honored. It's not just sins, For you and I, yes, when we commit a sin, all of these things might happen. Musibat, faqr, illness, marizi, and all that. But Imam is saying that in order to honor or in order to get rid of the sin, look how honored Imam Hussein is. Look how honored the Anbiya and Awliya are. They face the bala, the problems, the difficulties and issues, but they are honored because they came out in flying colors. They were victorious by facing these balas, by facing these difficulties. How they faced it? With itaat, with submission to the will of God, with being strong and steadfast. Sta'inu bis sabr was salat. Seek help from sabr, which is fasting, which is with salat, with praying. Just now we are coming out of the month of Ramadan. How beautiful these fasts were. Yes, they were long, but how light you were feeling, how good you were feeling after these fasts. When you are breaking the fast, especially for those who are living in England and those who had longer fast, I'm saying, when you are breaking the fast, food is not of a value. A man can survive with little food. You notice that. You felt that way. You don't really need like 3 meals a day to really, we just eat and eat. But when we break the fast, just a spoon of rice, a bit of salad, a couple of, dates, a cup of chai, that's it. And then at 2 o'clock we are doing sahari because you're already filled with that. And then you carry on again. But in the regular days, gotta have breakfast, gotta have lunch, gotta have dinner. Right? But we were functioning fine. And we were functioning much better than what we function in a regular day. Right? So these are all, but itaat, that strength. Amirul Mu'mineen, he clearly says, I didn't lift the door of Khaybar with eating, dry bread and salt. But it is that strength of that spirit which needs to increase. That is with itaat. That is with obedience. Not that we become like Amirul Mu'mineen. We can't. We can't have dry bread. That is something Hazrat Ali alayhi salam, don't count and compare. Right? He himself said you can't. Right? That is a special journey of that great wali. Right? Regular things, salat, som, sabr, patience, ita'at, all of these things are very important. So, وَوَقَفْتُ بَيْنَ يَدَيْ, I ran away from all of this. And obviously, in another hadith, Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, in the book of Imam Ali, mu'min is tested in accordance to the good amal of his. So look at this hadith. It's very important, and I will end. We just have 2 minutes left. A mu'min is tested accordance to the good amal of his, according to how good he is. If he is really good, the test is much more powerful. Imam Hussein, the best of the best. Look at the amount of test. What could be more difficult than the 6-month-old son head is pierced by the 3-headed arrow? The best of the best is tested in accordance to his capacity. The more good, the more. In a boxing ring, featherweight, heavyweight, according to the capacity, the fighter comes. Not a featherweight fights with a heavyweight, not a heavyweight fights with a featherweight, right? So Allah and Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam says as, a person whose amal is good and deen is correct, his belief, his aqeedah is correct, the bala is more stronger. His bala is more stronger. So change the perspective of looking at bala. Now, obviously, one last thing, just a minute left. We got to be careful here. We need to exercise in order to face the fight. We can't just say that, oh, okay, I'm ready. And then I go in the ring and one punch and we are gone. Right? You got to do exercise. You got to prepare yourself with ita'at, with ibadat, with dua. And then when you are ready, you said, okay, here it comes. Here the bala is coming. I feel it before it arrives, because of my ita'at, because of my spirituality. I have raised myself so much. I am aware that it's going to come. Hussein, it's coming. Hussein, I see a caravan going towards, I see a caravan moving, and behind this caravan death is following. Ali Akbar says, what difference does that make, O Father, whether we go towards death or death comes to us? The man is ready for it. Ali Akbar is ready. Right? So the point is that, we gotta be ready at the same time, right? By goodness. If we have that goodness in us, our account is full, then when the bala comes, we are ready, right? It's not easy. That's why, like for example, in Dua Sabah, it says that you should not really recite that dua too much, because in that dua, you say to Allah that, oh Allah, test me with anything. Baba, you are lying. You're saying something that you're not ready for it. So you got to be careful in reciting these du'as. So we got to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, wasma du'ai idha da'utuk, wasma nidai idha nadaituk. And oh Allah, I call on you, you listen to my dua. I do your supplication, wasma nidai idha nadaituk. I do nida to you, you listen to me. Wa aqbil alayya idha najaytuk. I come near you and I whisper. I whisper to you. I speak very slowly to you. I do najwa to you. You listen to my najwa. فقد حربت إليك ووقفت بين يديك. غفر الله لنا ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much.